Hey guys, welcome back
Hi,
to
everybody.
another episode of Psychic Shari Livestream.
Yeah.
Dr. Sherry Klein. Another hot one this week, Sherry.
Oh, I know.
I'm
It
looking at
is.
my little widget down here. It says 92, and it's like 6 o'clock at night. So
Yeah. I think we were supposed to like get up to 94 today, and
yeah.
it makes me tired even though I work in air conditioning. I still get hot. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I know. When you're in air conditioning, you go outside, it's even worse.
Yeah.
If you were just in this heat all the time, your body would acclimate it to it.
Yeah.
But when you're in air conditioning and you go outside, it's even worse. So,
Yeah, and I
yeah.
was telling you about, my husband Dave. Holy cow.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
hot in the factory where he works even in the winter. So,
really.
he's got to be dying. I mean, he comes home literally sopping wet.
Really.
hmm Like his
Yes.
shirt is completely wet, and I
Wow.
know.
Ew.
Ugh.
Well, maybe a few more years he'll be able to retire.
No, one more. He's got it down to the day.
Does he?
Uh-huh.
All right. And your bathroom's almost done, right? Your big
One,
remodel that's stressing you out.
I know, one is done, and the other is almost done. Like I said, of course, I ordered the wrong size shower door, but once that gets up, so
Nice.
yeah, it really does. It looks a lot better than what I imagined. So
Yeah, you're a nitpicker, so
I
you
I
are
am.
probably looking at every little flaw.
And you know why? Because I've cleaned houses for almost 40 years. And
Really.
people don't see what I do. They only see what I don't do. So I have to pay attention to detail. And that's why I know I'm probably more picky than most people, but I think, well, of course I kind of roll that way anyway, but I
Yeah,
mean, I think that has something to do with it.
probably so.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's get to it. Just want to remind everybody this is the first week where we are doing two of these a week. We invite you to enjoy our live stream on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll go an hour for that. We make sure we can get as many people in as possible during that time. So, should be we're really anxious to see how many people are going to show up on Saturday to
Yeah.
get a reading. So, uh,
Hit that bell icon. It'll remind them, doesn't it? Right,
yeah,
right before the show or something.
yeah, I think so. Something like that. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's go ahead and do the readings for tonight. We got an hour and a half here.
Okay.
Sherry's going to be giving some general readings. Won't be addressing any specific questions. She will be tapping into your higher energy and spirit guides to share things the spirits want you to know, not necessarily want you what you want to ask them. These are general readings. They take a little bit more time than the Q&As you may have noticed, but we'll get to as many as we can. If you miss it tonight, of course, there's Saturday, but after the show, if you'd like a reading specifically today or you have specific questions, after the show in the comments section, type your question, type your reading, type your first name as well.
Yeah. A lot of
You
people
need
forget to do that in the comments after. We're not talking about what's on the side going down now. We're
right.
talking after the show.
Yeah, yeah. So do that, and Sherry will get to your question or get you that reading tonight or tomorrow morning, depending on how many there are.
Yeah.
Now, if you want a reading tonight, make sure in your comments type that you do want a reading. You could say hello to us, and we'll say hi back, but we won't give you a reading because
Right.
we need your permission to do that, to tap into your higher spirit. And also, if you have a username that does not include your first name, then in that comment, type your first name so we can refer to you on a more personal level than some generic U2 name.
Right.
All right, we ready?
Yep.
Guess who's number one?
Kathy, I need a bell every time
Yeah,
she's on.
I
Ring
know.
it.
I know. She must get on here really early to get
Mm-hmm.
to get the pole position every time. So,
Yeah.
Kathy, if you're on, let us know when exactly you get on and type your request. That gives an idea of just how early people are allowed to do that. So,
She might not want to give up her secret
yeah,
because then
maybe not.
people will
Maybe
jump
not.
on. Well, yeah, I think you can go way before the show
Oh yeah,
starts.
yeah, definitely. So,
So,
all right.
all right. Okay, let's see what we got here for Kathy going on just a bit. All right. They just kind of show me like a sense of relief. You're just like, oh, okay. So you might have been going through a stressful time. There might be a lot of things going on. Sometimes, life kind of rolls like that, where it feels like when one thing happened, then something else happens, and something else, and then we tend to get overwhelmed. And then it's like a lot of times, oh, a lot of it is over. That's kind of the part where we see coming up for you, Kathy, is it's just a sense of relief. And so, whatever has been bothering you, whatever, if you're staying awake at night with anxiety, it feels like things are going to start to calm down a little bit. One thing, too, that your spirit team is telling me um, is that we don't know if you know it or not, but you are able to pick up on the collective. A lot of people can, especially empaths, and we might not even know it, but we can pick up on the collective in a whole. And a lot of times we'll think that's our stuff or our emotions. Um, so kind of pay attention to what's going on. An example like when 9/11, so many people, even before it actually happened, would have a sense of dread or sadness, and then boom, here that happened. So kind of pay attention to your emotions and see if it kind of syncs up with worldly events. So that's what comes up for you, Kathy.
Okay. Good message. Now let's move to Jax.
All right. Okay, Jax, welcome. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. Feels like you're really going full speed ahead, and you feel like you're getting things done, but here comes like a 90-degree turn. Sometimes it's all right to change our mind and do things differently because that's what feels like it's going. They're telling me that you're getting really good at pivoting and coming up with plan B, more so than what you could maybe even 5 years ago. Um, Not that you're always planning for something to go wrong. It almost feels like you're able to do this like in the spur of the moment. And sometimes those spur of the moment downloads, we're going to say, that you get are help from your spirit guides. A lot of times people say, well, I don't hear my guides, I don't know they're around me. A lot of times they'll impress us with thoughts, and we just think they're ours. But it feels like your guides come in like at the last minute, and they're like, okay, let's try this. And then you're like, oh, maybe I'll do this. So we don't pay attention to see if that doesn't happen in the next several months, where plans don't turn out the way you think. And then you just kind of pivot. And then when you pivot, it actually is a better choice than if you would have stayed on track. So that's what comes up for you, Jax.
Hmm. Okay. Hope that helps you. Now let's go to Beatrice. What do you see for her?
Hi, Beatrice. Let's see what we've got going on here. Spirit is saying, I guess they're saying rationing, but there's something to be said for saving money. This might be the time where you can really try to put a little money, save it back for a rainy day. And it always is a good feeling when we know we have a little bit of cushion. Not always can you maybe save money back, and it doesn't have to be a lot. But if you make yourself do it every week, you know how that can add up. But they're just saying that there's a lot of ways, they're kind of showing me going down through your finances. They say there's a lot of ways that you can trim the fat, and this would be a great time to do it. Um, they're also showing me money coming in. And when they show me money coming in, they'll show me a faucet. And when it comes on full blast, then that's like a lot of money coming in at once. Or if it trickles, just a little bit of money, yours feels like you get a lot of money at once and then it might kind of dry up. And then here comes another big, and that's what they're saying. It's fun when we have a lot of money, but they're saying make sure that you can, I guess they say ration it. So don't spend it all when you get it. So that's the message for you, Beatrice.
Okay.
And again, it doesn't mean that this is, live your entire life like this. When Spirit gives me these messages, these are like for either now or the next couple of months coming up. So that's what comes up for Beatrice.
Okay. All right. How about we go to Mihaela now?
All right. I think we got that name down pat, Mihaela.
Whether it's wrong or not.
Right or not. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Okay. Um, Feels like that you have one of your guides that are very close to you. I don't know if you work with your guides. If not, we would suggest you try doing little meditations every morning. They could just be little short ones. All throughout the day, I can feel Irene. She always comes on my one side. Doesn't mean I talk to her all the time, but they're just showing me a guide of yours that is like sitting right there next to you. Maybe if you're in the car, it's in the car with you, or it's sitting next to you at home if you're watching TV or at the computer or whatnot. So when you feel the presence, or if you would like to connect more with your guides, then envision, use your childlike imagination like they're there, and then start asking yes or no questions. Don't start out with the big, hairy questions, just yes or no. And then you can, and kind of work that way, and then wait for the confirmation. And then if it's right, then say, oh, good, I got it that way. As a simple thing, I always say this if you're in the car, I would say, Irene, which way is the car in front of me going to turn, left or right? And then, if I get left or right, and then I'm like, okay, I get it. So then you'll know that vibration. But your guide is very, very close to you. Doesn't feel like a protector. It does feel like a joy guide, like a message bearer, even though they can all deliver messages. But, and one last thing too, I don't know if you've been praying for help, but they're showing me a beautiful rainbow around you. And your guides and your angels are coming in and bringing healing to you in a lot of different areas of your life. So that's what comes up for you.
Okay. Now back to Beatrice. She would like a reading for her husband, David.
Okay. All right. She's asked that before because I always say, oh, that's my husband's name. Okay, it's kind of a common name. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. One thing when we get into Dave's energy, they're showing me he might be under a lot of stress. A lot of the stress, they say, could be eliminated because it feels as if he's worrying about things in the future that might not happen. So Spirit is asking him to kind of, of course we have to plan for the future, but when we start to worry about things that aren't going to happen and things of this nature, that's what they're talking about. They're asking him to kind of take a step back and just wait until things happen. Because he's really under a lot of pressure. They want me to also tell him that things are going to ease up. Whatever is around him that's causing him all of this anxiety or this stress, it feels like things are really going to start to almost just bust loose. They almost showed me like a boil when it just explodes.
Yes.
And then I know this is just analogy, but you know how it hurts and you're under a lot of pressure, and then boom, it's just such a relief. That's kind of what we see. It's just almost like overnight that he feels like 1,000 pounds is lifted off of him. So whatever he's going through, they want me to have you tell him that we see a beautiful light at the end of his tunnel, and try not to stress. Take life as it comes. So that's the message for him.
Okay. Well, good. And now we got Doris.
All
Would you
right,
like a
Doris.
reading?
All right, let's see. The first thing that your spirit guides show me is like a dog. And we love it. And they say you'd be a wonderful animal communicator. Um, I don't know if you have a dog or maybe you're getting ready to have one. And I'm kind of getting the feeling, what are they called? Emotional support dogs. And it doesn't mean that she needs that, but sometimes people need to feel loved or to feel needed. And this companion, sometimes the dogs or cats can support the humans instead of, it can go both ways. And so we see this for Doris, um, that we love a connection that you either do have or you're getting ready to have with a new, and I gotta tell you, it almost feels like a little puppy. Um, so this is something that we see coming in for you. And again, you might not be searching for one, but sometimes we don't have to, and things just might fall into our laps. And even if you already have an animal, I got to tell you, this feels like a puppy.
Hmm.
And I know puppies can be a lot of work, and there's a lot of commitment. When you get an animal, I mean, some of these can last many, many, many years. So, or at least I do. It's a big decision.
Yeah.
And so this is what we see coming up for you, Doris. And it's just you're just going to absolutely love this dog. So that's what comes up for you,
Hmm.
Doris.
Okay. Something to look forward to for Doris.
Hmm.
Now, Veronica, welcome back.
Okay, Veronica, let's see what we've got going on here. You might find yourself buying more jewelry than what you normally would. And they're also showing me like necklaces. Things are just going to really, um, get your attention, even though you might not buy a lot of them. And not only that, you might even start to get the idea, or maybe you do now, where you want to make your own jewelry. You're very creative, Spirit says, and to make your own jewelry. And again, they're kind of showing me some crystals might be put in there, because we can't always have work, and it's always good to have a hobby or things that can really open up your imagination. But that also is the feminine aspect. That also is the intuition. Um, so we see that coming where you're just really gonna, and they keep showing me like necklaces. So you might even take a class that teaches you how to make jewelry and put them together. So this may be something fun coming up for you. They are also showing me water for you. I don't know if you own a boat or you know somebody who does, but they do show me you on a boat having fun this summer. Um, and you're not on the boat. There seems to be several people. And so you might have some new acquaintances, new friends that come in that you might meet here this summer. Um, and and we do see like a lot of barbecues, just kind of some fun stuff. But it does feel like it will be with some new friends. So that's what comes up for you, Veronica.
Okay. Well, something to look forward to.
Hmm.
Now we go to Becky.
All right, Becky, let's see what we've got. Instantly, I'm very drawn into your back. And it just feels like when they show me the back, it's like you're carrying a heavy load and you're trying to do too much. Um, it almost feels like this load that you're carrying, it's maybe time to try to um, get rid of things that aren't yours, or things that you can't change. Sometimes we worry about things that are other people's, or else sometimes we, try to change things that can never change. Come to grips with those, but they're just saying this load is a heavy load. It feels like your back, my back kind of really hurts in your energy, and that's where you're holding a lot of that energy. So again, they're saying maybe burning the candle at both ends of the stick. Sometimes it doesn't have to be all physical work. Mental work, even like what Bobby does, he does all these podcast things and whatnot, that can stress you out too. I've had jobs where was in an office, and I got to tell you, there were days I would come home exhausted, and I sat all day.
Mm.
So, if you're not doing the physical work, it could be the mental anguish they're saying, or stuff that you're doing. They're just saying, they keep showing me, you might be burning the candle at both ends of the stick. Pay attention to your body. That's the last stop. Because if you don't, your body's going to see to it that you slow down. So that's what comes up for you, Becky. Really good at multitasking, they said too.
Okay. All right, now we move to Lindsay. What do you have for Lindsay?
All right, Lindsay, let's see what we've got going on here. Boy, your spirit team is showing me that this is really going to be the time where your childlike energy really comes to the forefront. Whether you have kids or not, they showed me you getting down and playing peekaboo with children, and you may not have kids, but it's just that childlike energy is all around you, wanting to really come up and out. Do things that you used to love to do as a child. Coloring. It sounds funny, but now they have the adult coloring books. And my grandkids and my daughter-in-law, they came this last weekend. We have slumber parties, and we paint tiles, little tiny magnetic tiles, and then I put them all over my magnetic door. So things like that, they're saying. Even games that you used to play as a kid. We just see a lot of this stuff coming up. Very creative. And they're almost showing me certain things you might start to this within this next year. They're saying we see a lot of kind of silly changes, sort of, but you might get a new hairstyle. You might want to start to redo parts of your home or where you live. If you're like me, I can buy a new comforter and then I have to remodel the whole bedroom. It's like
Mm.
I buy one kitchen towel and then it's a whole remodel. So that's kind of what they're saying with her, is just a lot of changes, maybe all the wardrobe, things of this nature. They're also showing me like a big yard sale. So you might be wanting to go through stuff in your home, or else you're going to help somebody to where you're getting rid of a lot of things that don't serve you anymore. And I always love that feeling. Just, less is more. So that's what comes up for you, Lindsay. A lot of kind of different things going on, but kind of fun.
Yeah. All right, well, that's good. Now we move to Carol.
Okay. All right. Got a lot of different new people on, don't we?
Yeah, looks like a lot.
Okay. So let's see what we've got. Instantly, when we get into Carol's energy, boy, we see the wheels turning. Boy, your mind is just like a sponge, they're saying, and when you get a hold of something that really strikes your fancy and interests you, boy, you just devour it. You might be on some sort of a spiritual journey that might be coming up for you too. One thing too, they said, I don't even know if you cook. They're showing me uh, like index cards that have recipes on them, and they said you would be really good at making your own recipes. You know how, and it reminds me of TikTok. If you get on TikTok, how people come up with their own little recipes, and man, they just go viral. Carol, it seems you would be really good at that. I
Mm.
don't know if you know how to get on TikTok, but they're just saying the recipes, and kind of make it your own. And when you do come up with something good that you like, write it down. So that may be coming. And I got to tell you, I love to cook. I'm not that good at it, but it's something about it. I love it. And I like to cook in big quantities. So that's what we see coming up for you, Carol. Um, oh, and this is kind of funny too, but okay. Um, this was a long time ago. Remember, Bobby, when they would have vision boards?
Oh, yeah.
People probably still do, where you cut things out of a magazine and you put it up on the thing and
Mm.
then you create. but they don't call them vision boards anymore. It's kind of evolved a little bit, but that's what we see with you, Carol. Um, you're really going to start to work on manifesting your future because, as we all know, you're living what you've already manifested. And it's funny when I say vision board because right over here, all down on my wall here, I have all kinds of big sayings, that are like, oh, kind of like a vision board. So that's what we see coming up for you, Carol, is working on manifesting your future. And the way that you do that, you think of what you want in great detail, you put a vibration with it like it's already happened. But the third thing, you have to expect it and you have to feel like you deserve it. A lot of people kind of bypass that because that's like something running in the back of the mind is the way I see it, and it can really stump a lot of people up. So if you're all of you people that are listening, if you're new to manifesting, I would suggest that you start out with something that you don't care if you get it or not. Don't start out with a life or death situation like you've got to have it because it's going to trip you up. Start with something silly like a comfortable shirt that you love, find a favorite shirt at a yard sale or something. So that's what comes up for you, Carol. And I hear your team say, happy manifesting. So she's going to really get out there and start manifesting and working on it. We're all manifesting, but we do it on a lot of us on an unconscious level. So, it's
Mm,
always going. We're always throwing seeds into our future timeline. So,
yeah. Okay. How about Venus? What do you see for her?
all right, Venus, let's see what we've got going on here. Boy, we love outside for you. We love butterflies and we love flowers. And there's something about your hands in the dirt and your feet on the ground. And what spirit, a lot of times they'll impress me with things. When I quit smoking, I smoked cigarettes for like 26 years and then I got hypnotized. But then I still wanted to smoke. And in our backyard, I literally every night would go out there and I was like tilling up a garden. I would sit and I would literally take the dirt and crumble it with my hands. My neighbors thought I was nuts, I'm sure, but I gotta tell you, it grounded me so much. And it was just something about being there and grounding. It would take my mind off wanting to smoke. And there feels like there's a need here, Venus, for you to be outside as much as you can. And if you can plant flowers or even plants, have them inside or flowers outside in a pot or whatnot, there's something about watching them grow. And so that's what comes in for you. It will be almost like, it's very calming. It's almost like a little meditation, like when I go out and water my flowers. And so that's what they're saying with you, Venus, that we see where that might come up, where you have a lot of that. And you
Mm,
might find that you have a green thumb. Some people say, oh, I can't grow anything, everything dies. And you might be the total opposite, where you're like, wow, everything I plant really, grows twice the size. So,
really? Hmm.
mhm.
Maybe she'd come over to my house and plant some of my stuff because everything I plant dies.
Because you don't talk to it and you don't send it love. When I water my flowers, I'm like, oh, you're so pretty. Look at you, And I mean, I
Hmm.
talk to even my tree out front. I'm telling you, my tree out front is beautiful. Every time we go out and I say, "Oh, look at the prettiest tree in the whole neighborhood," it's sitting, but it gets that energy. Thoughts are energy. Trees and plants are alive.
Mm,
People are alive. Animals. I'm telling you, try it. Try it with your plants.
yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, I'm sure you will.
Yeah. All right, how about Angel? What do you see for Angel?
All right, Angel. Let's see what we've got going on here. They're showing me you making a list, but it's not a to-do list. This is a list of pros and cons. So you might find yourself on the fence somehow about something and you're not quite for sure what to do. I like to do this sometimes too. Write down the pros, write down the cons. But also, when you do that, when you find yourself in a dilemma where you don't know which decision to do, sit in a quiet place and envision if you were to take this route, and just kind of give it as much detail as you can, and then see how you feel. How does that feel? Does it feel like a heaviness? Does it feel real bright? And then go down the other path of, should I do this? And again, you got to kind of sit in silence, pay attention to your body. Does your body start to get really tense? Or, you start to get the, butterflies in your stomach, like, oh, I don't know, something feels wrong. Pay attention to that. That's your higher self. We all have a higher self, and your higher self knows. Not that, honestly, everything that we experience, we're going to get where we want to get. Whenever we choose, whenever we come up against an obstacle, we created that somehow, some way. But at the same time we create an obstacle for ourselves, we create a solution. But we might have different avenues to get there because we have free will. So which solution, which avenue are you going to take? The long way or the short way? And that's why we're saying sit down with your higher self and kind of feel it. And you're like, well, I can't feel it. But the more that you do that, the more you will. And it can be very subtle too. So pay attention. So that is the message for this individual.
Angel.
Angel, I can't even see. My eyes are so
Yeah,
blurry.
that's her name.
Yep, Angel. Because I'm like, how'd you get Angel out of that? Because I didn't see it. But
Yeah. Angel's a regular now.
yeah,
We've been through that.
I do remember that name. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Charlotte, thank you. As Charlotte says, please like and subscribe to the channel. That really helps get the word out on for this live stream. Really helps out. Appreciate it, Charlotte.
Thank you, Charlotte. She's one of our biggest cheerleaders. I love how
Yeah.
she says that.
What do you have for Charlotte today?
All right, Charlotte, let's see what we've got. Your spirit team is saying, don't be surprised if you start to have people coming out of the woodwork just pulling on your coat strings, wanting this or wanting that. They may not even want something material. They might just want your advice. I don't, oh, thank you. You're really good at picking up on the energies of other people. I don't know if you do, even though you are regular here, I don't know if you do readings for other people. But if not, it feels like you're going to really start to, I want to say, master reading other people's energy. And it's, everybody's like, oh, energy work can be not feng shui, Irene. Well, that is energy work too. That kind of blew out of my mouth. Thank you. So you might really be into feng shui too, and that is the placement of things in your home. But we're talking about energy of people. And everybody is a Reiki master. They always think that they're healers and things, and nothing wrong. I mean, there's some wonderful Reiki masters. But not all energy work has to be Reiki. And we see where you might even come up with your own modality on how to help other people. And you're going to start to find people, again, they use the term, are going to start coming out of the woodwork because they're wanting your help. And a lot of it is going to be on an energetic level. So it's really going, the more that you do that and the more that you open up, your spirit guides are telling me, man, they're really going to just blow this wide open for you to where you might even be able to see colors all around people. Just a lot of ways to heal people emotionally, physically, and even mentally. So good for you, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. It
She,
feels like a business.
yeah,
She
she
could,
could start her own live stream.
yeah. I mean, they're showing that she could make, people pay for energy work.
Yeah, yeah. All
So,
right, let's move on to Christina. What do you see
okay.
for her?
All right. Hi, Christina. All right. Let's see what we've got here. All right. They're saying that you should be proud of yourself because you've done a good job. They kind of take me back through your timeline, and they just said no matter what happens to you, you just power through it, and you're really good at coming up with um, thinking outside of the box and helping other people. It's as if you, because they're kind of taking me a little bit further into your energy. You can look at somebody or be around someone, and you have these wonderful tidbits, I guess they're saying, of things that they could do to make their life easier, or things that could make them happier, because you're a really good observer. And you would be, well, you are really good at picking up on the way that people carry their body too. So you might really like to be a people watcher because you can pick up a lot by just watching how people move. And that is really, really going to start to amp up for you. One thing, too, we see is that you might, what is that, Irene? Show me again. Um, you might start going through, gosh, I got to tell you, I feel like somebody's getting hold of my throat. You know how this does? They do that when spirit
Yeah.
starts to come in. And don't be surprised if in your home, Chris, that you feel the presence of, spirits. They're all around, nothing to be scared of. But these spirits that feel like they're coming through, I got to tell you, it feels like it's a grandmother energy for you, and some of your loved ones that are just coming in and just checking on you. But they're going to try to make their mark. They're going to try to make it to where you know that they're there. So you might smell perfume. You might smell something when nothing's there. Or you might, of course, the easy one, see things move out of the corner of your eye. You might even take, thank you, Irene. She says when you feel the presence of, some spirits around you, pick up your cell phone and just start taking random pictures or selfies of yourself and see if you don't pick up some orbs. That's fun. You could pick up other things too, like
Oh,
apparitions and everything. So, and not to scare you. Again, these do feel like these are your loved ones. It does feel like family members that have crossed over. They're just kind of coming in, checking on you, and I can hear them say they kind of come in as a collective and saying they're coming in to kind of to boost your morale, to kind of boost your energy and to let you know that you're not alone. So that's what comes up for you, Chris.
okay, good. Now we move to B. Welcome back, B.
All right, B. I remember that too because I just love that. All right, let's see what we've got. Okay. You might find yourself going back and reading books that you've read a long time ago, but maybe you haven't read for a long time, or even watching movies that you haven't watched. And then you'll know how far, I guess, Spirit is saying that you've evolved and how much you've matured and kind of danced to your own drum, because it will seem very different when you revisit some of these things. Even, thank you, even Spirit is saying you might run into somebody that you used to know, that you were friends with. You know how we all have friends that kind of pull apart for no reason. But then you might revisit some of these relationships too and think, oh, everything is so different. But that's just you and your energy kind of really, I guess we're going to say, bumping it up a little bit, is the way your team said. Um, and sometimes, when even love relationships or friendships, they can kind of part because people's energy, gets different. They're not in alignment. And so you're really, really going to be working with a lot of energy. Kind of reminds me of like with Charlotte's read. Um, so many people now are picking up on liars or people who are fake, things of this nature. You know, we can all do it on an unconscious level, but it feels like more and more people, and I can even tell this with my readings that I do, man, people are really starting to come online. Their psychic abilities are really getting, you know, keen, and just their knowing, their gut feeling. So all of this is really coming to the forefront. And again, the more you can be outside, be the better off you're going to feel. Even if it's a rainy day or it's cold, bundle up and still kind of get out in nature. Um, One thing too, your spirit team wants you to write a journal of your spiritual journey of things that you've kind of experienced, because it is going to come in handy later, because there may be a day where you might teach people some of the stuff that you've learned. So that's what comes up
Interesting.
for you, B.
Okay, good. Let's move to Antonia.
All right. All right. Let's see what we've got. First thing that comes up is your spirit team is saying, don't be so hard on yourself, because it feels like things that you worry about, maybe the way you look or something like that. They say people don't even notice that. What people are going to notice is the way you make them feel. And we love the energy. We do see where your throat chakra, they're kind of taking me into the throat chakra a little bit, really wants to come online and open up. And so we see where you're going to be able to voice your opinion more. Normally, I don't know if they're kind of taking me back through your timeline where feels like you might have felt like you weren't heard. And you know, that can carry on. You know, like with us, you know, kids are to be seen and not heard, you know, or shut up or don't say anything. And so that kind of hinders as, you know, we grow up. So it just feels like you're really going to start to voice your opinion and in a nice way. And they're kind of showing me, I don't know if you're a people pleaser, but if you are, that's going to kind of come to a nice, I don't want to say a halt, because you're still like helping people, but there's an aspect of you that might feel like you have to help or do more in order for people to like you. And they said that's not true. And again, they're swinging back to try not to be so hard on yourself, and just have fun. Just be you. And the more that you're just you, then your energy really shines. So we see a lot of transformation coming up for you, and and people really like your energy, and they really like you, and they really like the advice that you give, because you might not sugarcoat things. There's nothing worse than going to somebody and everything you ask them, oh, that's great, you know. And so they're saying that you're not like that. People really take your words to heart. So that's what comes up for you, Antonio.
Okay. All right, let's do one more, and then we'll. Did you get your alphabet
I
messages
did.
already? Okay. So we'll do Judy now, and then after Judy, we'll do alphabet messages.
Okay.
Right, with Sherry.
All right. Boy, instantly, Judy, I am like, I got so much energy. My shoulder hurts. So you hold a lot of energy in your back and your shoulder. I'm almost getting, and of course I'm no doctor, but I'm feeling like the body's a little off kilter. Mine is my shoulders. One is always higher than the other because of the 40 years of cleaning. You know, with one arm, it just
Uh-huh.
tilts the whole body. Then everything gets off kilter. So that's kind of what we're seeing. What and your spirit team is saying, whatever you do it with a different hand. So if you're always wiping your countertops with your right hand, use your left. And if you always vacuum, like me, they're just using, you know, the cleaning stuff, but always vacuum, then do it with the left. Just try to do things the opposite to get the other side of the body, because it feels like that one side of your body feels like it's really strong. And I know we all have the dominant side, but one side feels really strong and one side feels very weak. Um, and another thing too that come up, like I am right-handed, so here's my right hand. And before I used to do readings, and many years ago, I had teachers that say, use your left hand, use your non-dominant hand, or tap your non-dominant foot, do like that because it'll trigger the other side of the brain, which will open up your intuition. I know it kind of sounds weird, but um, that's kind of what we're getting with Judy. They're saying just switch things up. Not only will it help the physical body, it might help, unblock and get the chakras a little bit going too, because when I do look at her chakras, they do feel off balance. And of course, I just look at the seven main ones. If you don't know what that is, Judy, maybe you do, maybe you don't, you can always Google it. It's the energetic field. But they're showing me yours are all different sizes. They're little and big and little and big. Um, there's ways on YouTube that you can find that balance them. Normally we say, oh, just, go like this and kind of balance them. But it feels like with yours, they're wanting you to really get in and work with your chakras. Um, because I'm seeing some of them going different ways, and some are small or little. Again, you can get on YouTube like you are now, and find ways, to balance your chakras. And that will really help in a lot of areas of your life. And that could be good for everybody, really. It's always a good thing to kind of
Mhm.
keep those balanced. So that's
Okay.
the message for you, Judy.
All right. I hope that helped you. Now we're going to do some alphabet messages.
Yep. Yeah.
Sherry's going to provide a spiritual message to everyone, either listening to the show live right now or through a recorded version of it in the future. It works either way. So now everyone watching the show right now needs to select a letter. That letter is either going to be an a B, or a C. Don't think about it. Whatever immediately popped into your head is the letter that's sent from Spirit for you. And so that is your letter. And we want it to come from Spirit, not from you. Okay, so now you should all have your letter since it came over instantaneously. Sherry's going to provide some spiritual message and guidance based upon the letter that you selected. Sherry, you all set?
Yep.
Okay,
And I got my letter because I forget what I write down.
I have mine.
Okay. All right. So what I do is before the show, of course, I always seal my energy. I call in my guides and the angels and my helpers. And then I do the alphabet messages. So if you chose A, it says, if you chose this letter, this would be a good time for you to start something new, especially if you've been dragging your feet and not wanting to take on a new project. This is the time to step forward. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So jump in and ride that wave, and it might be easier than what you've ever imagined. So this is your time to really kind of do the dreaded things that you've been putting on the back of the burner. Um, so now, if you chose B, if you chose this letter, it's time to let your mind rest. We get bombarded with electromagnetic frequencies, which comes from our cell phones, laptops, microwaves, TVs, everything. So try to limit the use of these as well. We're not saying forever, just for maybe the next few days. Kind of let your energetic body do a reset. Another thing, and I know people have heard me talk about this, it's this used to bug me with my youngest boy. When he lived here, I'd come in there. He would sleep with his cell phone like right next to his head, plugged in. I'm like, God, that can't be good. Or My husband always wants the TV on in the bedroom. I don't like all that, but all of that has these electromagnetic frequencies, and it just gets overwhelming. So that's if you chose B. All right, if you chose C, this letter, it's time for you to limit what you put in your body for the next 3 days. Maybe do a liver cleanse or intermittent fasting. Less is more as far as food goes. Um, they say don't eat until you're full, just eat until you're not hungry anymore. And then, of course, try to make healthy choices. But they're just saying this will help do a little body cleanse, because they're all kind of connected. And when you kind of help one, it can kind of help all the other etheric bodies too. So that's your alphabet messages. They're different every week. So
All right.
what was your? I was trying to think. I chose B. Let's see. It's time with the electromagnetics. So I
Mine was C.
okay.
Watch what
And
I eat, I guess.
oh well, you already do that.
Yeah, but I've been, splurging last few days. Maybe it's someone's way of trying to tell me not to. It's time to
Yeah, I
stop.
tell you.
Back on the wagon.
Oh my God. I come home yesterday from work. My husband's sitting there. He he went to Costco. He got the biggest bag of candy. I swear to God, it's like that big. I bet it has 400 pieces of candy, little candy bars in it. And I'm like,
Oh, really?
what are you doing? And then he'll sit there, and then I see it, and I can't walk by it. So, and I can't make him put it out in his car because it's so hot and it all melt. So I don't know. I got to get it out to
Crazy.
where I can't see it.
I know. When I was losing all that weight, I was like really strict on like a sugar diet, uh, sweets, snacks, candies, cookies, nothing, none of that.
Hmm.
Tracy, my wife, would bring home like cookies and, and
Yeah.
bags of candy and stuff like that. It's like uh, I'm trying to get off drugs and somebody's bringing in a
Giving
bag
you
of
some
cocaine,
opioids. Here you
drawing a
go.
line out there and say, okay, don't touch that.
Yeah,
That's mine, but don't touch that.
I know. And or like we'll be sitting there and Dave will get to munching on potato and I'll hear it, crunching on Doritos or something like, give me one. Got when I eat one, oh, game on,
Yeah,
because then I
I
can't
know.
stop.
I know it. I know.
Um,
Get that sugar in you. It makes you feel more hungry.
mm-hmm.
All right, let's move back to the readings. We've got
Okay.
Sherry spelling it right
Okay, the right way,
and the
Sherry.
right way.
Okay, let's see what we got. All right. We see a smile on your face, and I love spirit. And it's a sense of peace. When I kind of they throw me into your energy, it's a just a sense of like things are calmed down. There's not a lot to worry about. And things seem to be going nicely. It's almost like you're going to get to the point where, oh, I don't want to rock the boat because I kind of like life the way it's going now. Um, and of course, as we know, that's not going to stay the same. Just like when things are really bad, they don't stay that way either. But we see you in a good place. Let's see what else. Oh, we really love music for you. Even if you can play music in the background, the thing that they're impressing me with is I used to sometimes, and I would get it off of YouTube, would play in the background in my house like higher frequencies. Like Bobby, you know what I'm talking about, the Hertz
Yeah,
728 or 528.
yeah.
Sometimes play those just to kind of clear the energy and as background noise. And I would even sometimes do mantras, like kind of over and over. I kind of like those sometimes. Um, but that's kind of what they see. What they're showing me with you, Sherry, is you might find where you like to kind of. They're really drawing me into that five. Is it 528 hertz, Bobby?
Well, there are a lot of different
Yeah, or
frequencies
the
depending on what it is that
728. They're
you
kind of showing
need.
me different ones.
Yeah.
And that might be something that you like. And again, not only that, they're also showing me different types of music. I don't know if you've ever taken a dancing class, but they do show me you dancing. It could be line dancing, it could be square dancing, things of this nature. So, this is something that we see coming up for you too. And again, Spirit always loves for us to listen to music or to dance because that really gets our energy vibrating high. And we like to, when our energy's going high, that is when we can manifest the best. So that's what comes up for you, Sherry.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard that, music really helps a lot more than what people think.
Oh yeah, because if think about it, if because I love music and I love to dance. I get in my living room and I dance like
Do you?
nobody. Oh my God, I always do. Not, even in front of Dave, I will too. I love to dance and I get out there and act a fool, but I don't care. I love it, and it makes me feel. It really like gets my heart pumping. It just puts me in a good mood.
Wow. I did not know that.
So I was going to say so many things we don't know about each other, and we're brother and sister.
I know. All right. How about Taya? Taya.
All right. Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. Spirit loves your smile. The more you can smile, the better they love that. Not only for you, but the people that you affect with your smile. You're going to find that your heart um, is really just going to crack open. We do see where your energy, your aura, you hold it really close to you. Um, and in the heart, it's almost as if there might be like a little privacy fence around it. A lot of you're not broken. A lot of people do this kind of to just to save them from a heartache. But we see where your heart is just going to crack open in a good way, and you're going to find where you really are going to start to feel compassion um, for people, for animals, um, even people that you don't know. Maybe if you hear about something to so much to where you're like, wow, I got to help this person. Maybe I can, contribute to a GoFundMe account, or maybe if somebody's house burns down, I'll get some clothes together. It feels like you might organize charities and more than once. There's so many ways to help people. Go to a food kitchen, or nowadays they're given where they have people put together school supplies for kids. Just feels like you might start finding yourself getting into more and more stuff like that here in the next 6 months. And you're going to love it because the more you give, the more you get. It's an energy exchange. And it doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to help pass out school supplies and then you're going to get a bunch of school supplies, but you'll get things that you need. So this is what we see, and it really opens up your heart. It's a wonderful exchange, and you're going to meet a lot of, I was going to say new people, but they said a lot of interesting people. So that's what comes up
Hmm.
for you.
Okay. Good reading. Let's go to Christy.
All right, Christy. Let's see what we've got going on here. Gosh, I'm still in that other. Irene, you got to go. They were going back to giving, and then I get on hers. Have you ever done that Salvation Army where you ring the bell?
I've never done it, but I've seen it.
No, I've done it.
You actually have?
Yeah, I gotta tell you, that is brutal standing there, ringing the bell. I can't. It kills me to stand in one spot. I did it down on the circle one year, and
Really?
I did that, and I was only out there an hour. It felt like 8 hours. So anytime I see these people, I give them. I don't walk by any without giving them money because that's a tough gig. But
Wow.
anyway, okay, that they just kind of threw me into there. All right, so now what is the name? Christy. All right, let's see what we've got here. Wow. Um, Kind of reminds me a little bit of Bobby, what me and you were talking about before the show. They're talking about with Christy, boy, pay very close attention to your dreams. They're going to start to really feel like you are in, like you're there. It's not a dream. It is like you have jumped timelines. And this,
Really?
you're going to find this coming up more and more and more with you, Christy. Um, and this is super cool. Um, now I don't do this, but I do know people who have. You might even have dreams of things that happen before they happen. You might even have dreams of. Now I'll do that too, but not to the extent what they're showing me. She's going to be able um, to where you might even see a person in your dream and you don't know who it is, and then maybe a day or two later, you actually run into that person.
Wow.
Or you might have a situation and you're like, this isn't going to end well, and then here it comes true. Or something's going to, it doesn't always have to be negative. It could be like, wow, something's great, and then boom, something happens. So be open to it. When you go to sleep, if you want, we have free will. But they're saying when you go to sleep at night, ask your guide, say, show me something. Show me something that's going to happen, even if it's a world event. I have had where I've seen things catch on fire or a plane wreck or something, and then I get up the next day and there be a plane wreck.
Hmm.
Now I didn't ask for it, but they're saying to have her ask. So ask your guide, say, show me, and focus on what you want. Show me something that's going to happen. You can even give them a name of a person that you know. Show me something about this person, or show me a world event that's going to happen. Things of this nature before you go to bed. So that's really cool. So
Hmm.
I would be
Yeah.
interesting
Really.
if you come back on our show and say, hey, I had this vision and it came through.
Yeah.
So,
All right. And then we move to Lorinda.
all
Welcome
right,
back.
Lorinda. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. Boy, talking about dancing, they're showing me her standing there twirling like with a dress on. And whenever I see that, I always just think of, carefree, fancy free, footloose and fancy free, and the dancing and the vibes. Boy, your energy, you're really starting to whenever you feel depressed or sad, you're able to pull yourself up out of that rabbit hole a lot quicker than what you used to. And you're able to even help others. They're telling me that the words that you say to other people, not every single word, but a lot of them really, really help people. You help a lot more people than what we think you know. And you play they said you are a big contributor to the collective. And everybody, when we have a negative thought, it lowers the collective. If we have a positive thought, it raises it. And they said she's a wonderful contributor, is the word they used.
Hmm.
So that's what comes up. I don't know if you have any type of a blog. You know how people get out and write blogs. They said people would really be interested in reading your blogs. So that might be something you haven't even thought of yet. Sometimes Spirit wants me to plant the seed, and that could be something that you might not do for 3 or 6 months, if at all. It is up to you, but that's what they're showing me. One thing too, kind of far out there. Well, maybe not that far. They show me around Thanksgiving, and we find where you're really going to be in a wonderful place around, and we're not the physical place, we're talking emotionally. You'll be in a wonderful place emotionally around Thanksgiving. And your life is going to probably change a lot from now till then in a good way. And you'll be like, wow, like, I can't believe this. I've come such a long way. They show me, and I love Spirit because they drop things in my head. And it is a Star Trek show that they're showing me. And one of the, whatever, but it was almost like where this guy went back and it was Christmas time and it was perfect. Or Thanksgiving, that's what they're showing me with her. It's like almost too good to be true. So that's what comes up
Hmm.
for you. I loved how spirit, my vocabulary is limited, so they pick and choose things that I, can try to explain, I guess. It
Yeah.
was not Captain Kirk, but the other Captain what is that?
Picard.
Picard.
Picard. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was in a virtual reality thing.
Yeah.
And
That was actually a movie. I can't
yes,
remember.
and remember when he went back and it was like, this is what would have happened had he had got married and had kids?
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah, I remember the movie where he went into what they call the Nexus.
Yeah,
He experienced, anything he wanted to experience,
yeah,
it just immediately appeared, and he wanted to experience children and
yeah.
marriage.
And that's what they were showing me with her. You
Wow.
know that feeling that he had there, like it was
Yeah.
perfect. That's the feeling I got for her. Isn't that
Hmm.
funny how
Yeah.
spirit bring they do that though? But then I know what they're talking about
Yeah.
because they go by how I felt when I watched that movie. And it really made an impact on me because I don't, number one, I don't watch movies or TV that much. So
Yeah.
this
Hmm.
is kind
Okay.
of a little tidbit on how my guides work with me.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to Priscilla.
All right, Priscilla, let's see what we've got going on here. All right. Boy, they're kind of dropping me into your ear chakras. And boy, they're really opening up. You're going to start to hear things, supposedly, how do they say that? You're going to be able to read between the lines. You're going to be able to hear things and, like, literally be able to hear better. So they're just saying you could almost hear a pin drop. You're going to start to find here in the next couple of months that you can hear things that other people can't. But when you hear them, it's like you're going to know exactly what it is. You know how so many times, especially in the middle of the night, I'll hear something and I'll be like, what is that? You know? And they're saying you're going to instantly know. In fact, they really pulled me into the middle of the night with you and the noises that you hear. Pay very close attention because there might be a lot of noise activity in your bedroom, and this some of it is going to come from your spirit helpers or your loved ones on the other side. So that's kind of fun. When you hear something, if instantly you think of someone that is crossed over, it's your first thought, then that's going to be them. And then you can start a dialogue with, like, hey, why are you here? Or whatever. A lot of people can't hear them. But when you ask, they'll do everything in their power to try to communicate with you. So many people will say, oh, mom, show me a sign. They're always showing you signs that they want you to tell them what you want to see. And I tell you, I did this one time, and people think they have to make it the obvious, like a cardinal or a feather. I was working with one of my guides when I was first trying to, get to know him. And I said, all right, I want you to show me a monkey. Now, why I said that, I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to see one out my back door. I am not kidding you. I went and cleaned one of my houses, and the first bedroom I walked in, it was her kid's room, and he had a bedspread that had monkeys all over it.
Really?
Yeah, so things like that. But you can't switch it up every 5 minutes. You got to give them time to, you know, get
Yeah.
it organized.
Hmm.
So that's what comes up for you, Priscilla.
Okay. Now let's go to Gary. Gary, welcome back.
Okay, hi, Gary. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. Your spirit team is kind of pulling me into your head, and they're just saying, watch the repetitive thoughts. Because when I get like this too, boy, I get on a roll, Bobby. Man, it's like, oh, I can't get it out of my head, and then it just snowballs on me, literally, like I'm making a snowman. It just gets
Mm.
bigger and bigger with my thoughts. And they're saying come up with different ways to kind of rewire the thoughts, Gary, especially the repetitive ones and the ones that are negative. Instantly, you just got to make yourself think of something else. You're the only one that control your thoughts. Nobody else can control them for you. So that's one thing that comes up for you. Another thing that they're saying would be very helpful for you is to write things down. Sometimes people will write things down. Uh, right up here, I have a thing called a worry jar, and you write things on a little piece of paper, and then you put it in there, and then it's gone, and then supposedly you're not going to worry. That's kind of what they're showing me with you, Gary. When you get where you're worrying about something, and even the things that feels like some of the things you're worrying about, they're out of your control. And those are the things that they're saying write down on a piece of paper and say, I release this, and burn it or shred it. Um, and, if it is within your control and if it's something that you don't like, then try everything you can to change it in your power. But if it's not, those are the ones that can really eat you up. Those are the ones that eat me up.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different ways to get rid of that. And they're just suggesting that one way for you, Gary, is to write it down, whatever's worrying you, give it to God, give it to the angels, and then burn it or shred it. So that's what comes up for you, Gary.
Okay. Let's move on to Miley.
All right, Miley. Let's see what we've got coming up for you. All right. Boy, they're showing me you doing a back bend. And I'm asking Spirit, why are you showing me that? But they're saying that there might be someone around you that you would just bend over backwards for. But they're saying use a little bit of caution, because when we do that, it feels like that this relationship is not even, where you're giving too much and the other person isn't giving as much as you. And sometimes you might tend to be a people pleaser. And whenever people are people pleasers, not always, but sometimes it can be where you don't feel good enough and you feel like you have to go above and beyond. And that's what they're saying. Now, this bending over backwards for a person could be a love relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be at work. So pay attention. It doesn't always have to mean that what we say is happening right now. Sometimes Spirit tells me something to tell you, these people, to give them a heads up, to be on the lookout for some of the things. So that's what they're saying is watch bending over backwards for someone, because when you do that, this person will take advantage of you. It's almost like the more that you do for this person, and the more they want. And then it's just like take, take, take. And even energetically, it doesn't always have to be material things. It can be energetically. People who are empaths, and there's a lot of them on here, people will come in, and those are the ones where everybody's attracted to them. They're attracted to your energy. And then they'll, on an unconscious level, can kind of steal your energy. They walk away feeling great, and then have been slimed, like you're depleted. So that's why we always talk about sealing your energy, keeping that in, because everything's energy. So that's the message for you, Miley. It looks like she's writing a specific question. After the show, Miley, you can write in the comment a specific question, and then I go through and answer those. But on the show, I just come out with what your team wants me to tell you.
Yeah.
Because we get people that just, don't get here right at the beginning of the show.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Now, Leora.
All right, Leora, let's see what we've got. All right. Boy, they instantly showed me a great big ear on you, and I love that because that tells me that probably you don't have an ear that big, but you're probably a really good listener, and people like your advice. And you are a good advice. Boy, they say you can move mountains if you have to. And you can really help people in tremendous ways. they just kind of show me you kind of like putting your arms, and I feel like it's around family members or something, and family is big for you. If there's someone in your family that you haven't spoke to, and this doesn't have to be your children, it could be, or it could be brothers or sisters or aunts. If there's someone that you kind of drifted away from, or else you've had a disagreement, they're saying now would be the time to try to mend fences, to try to mend those relationships. Um, Sometimes things, relationships can sever over something, maybe even like a miscommunication. So this is the message for you, is to try to reach out. Thank you. And Spirit is even saying it doesn't always have to be family either. This could be a friendship too that kind of severed. They said this would be the time for you to reach out and try to mend that. So that is the energy coming in for you, Leora.
Okay. Now we move to Eileen. Welcome back. Long time no
Hi,
see.
hi, Eileen. All right, let's see what we've got here. Your spirit team is cautioning you of going too fast, or putting too many. They call it too many pots on the stove. Um, so they're saying less is more a little bit. Not always. You're really good at multitasking, but they're just saying slow down just a little bit, because if you don't, it feels like that you might be making, and this happens to everybody, make some mistakes. Um, so they're kind of cautioning you that, and they really are cautioning you because they're actually putting yellow caution tape around you to keep you from running and going, 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 going. It's either feast or famine is what they're saying. You either go, 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 and then it's almost like you crash and burn. So they're saying just kind of even it out a little bit. Um, and another thing too they're talking about is like when you're driving. I do that. I drive so much, my mind is all over the place. Just kind of pay a little bit more attention, because you're going to find, and this happens to me too, and it'll happen in a series of events. Like for 2 or 3 days, it feels like people drive crazy around me. And that's kind of what they're saying with you, Eileen, is kind of just watch the other driver. We're not seeing a car wreck or anything of that nature, but there might be some close calls. And they're saying just kind of give it a little extra attention here in the next week or so when you're driving, and that comes up for you. Something too, this is kind of fun. They showed me a painting of an animal. This is either a cat or a dog, maybe both. So you might have someone that wants you to come and draw their animals. So that's something fun. So that's what comes up for you, Eileen.
Okay. Now we move to Christy.
All
What do you
right,
have for
Chris.
Christy?
Okay, Christy, let's see what we've got. Boy, it feels like they just showed me you at a computer and your little fingers is going to town. And they said there's a book inside of you, that there's so many things that your spirit team is asking you to write down. And this can be on a whole lot of different levels. Um, Again, they're talking about too organizing paperwork. So I don't know if you've got a lot of paperwork sitting around and things are all over the place. I am very organized, probably in a creepy way, but I have a file cabinet and I file everything. And Bobby, you're going to make fun of me. I save like my utility bills, after I pay them, I file them. I know you think I'm nuts. I just do. And just because it's fun. I don't know why I do it, but it makes me feel like I'm doing something. It feels like there's paperwork, things that need to be organized. And if you're like Bobby and do things on the phone or whatnot, even that, it just feels like we need to organize things more. Even your cupboards, even your closets. So you might find yourself going through um, like a domino effect. Once you start it, then it makes you feel good, and then you're going to want to do more organizing and more and more. Um, and you're going to be surprised too, because again, this came up on another read where there might be a yard sale, like where you organize so much, you're like, you know what, I don't need this. Why am I hanging on to this? So that might be something too. And again, I always love to get rid of things, and it opens up for other things to come in. And real quick too, they show me there might be some traveling coming up for you, but and this could be like far away from home. Like an example, they're kind of, I live in the United States. I mean, this would be like me going outside of the United States.
Yeah.
So there might be a vacation planning coming up, where you take I almost want to say a trip of a lifetime. So, and
Hmm.
sometimes, you got to plan them big ones way ahead. Um,
Yeah.
this is something that we see for you, Christy. So that's kind of
Hmm.
fun.
Yeah, really. All right. To Debbie Castle.
Okay. Hi,
Debbie.
Debbie. Debbie's another one of our regulars. Debbie has been a big cheerleader of mine. I mean, I don't even know how many years I've been uh, doing, paid readings. Um, so,
Yeah.
all right. So let's see, because I was on Blog Talk. I don't know if she found me on Blog Talk. I don't know. Doesn't matter. All right, Debbie, let's see what we've got here. Okay. Work on your breath, because they're just showing me, not that you're getting ready to have a panic attack, but it does feel like stress is starting to build. And especially at night, and it reminds me of me. Sometimes I can tell when I don't clear my energetic field enough, because I'm telling you, it's a lot going on in my head and my energy. That's kind of what we see going on with you, Debbie, is a need to clear your energetic field. Even sage. I don't know if you sage. Spirit is asking you to kind of sage, and even sounding bowls. If I have one behind me, things of that nature. We just like. I feel like we want to clear your home of the energy. However, you can do that. Open the windows, although you probably don't want to now, it's too hot. Or thank you, Irene. Even the music we were talking about with somebody else earlier, playing the 528 hertz or the 728 in the background, that'd be wonderful. That will, oh, here comes this thing. This comes on here every time, and if I don't click off of here, it's going to boot me off.
Hmm.
Um, so, anyway, all right, sorry about that. So, yeah, playing that, raising the energy, and that will help with the anxiety, and the breath work. Breath work is big. When you start to feel like you're going to worry about something, focus on your breath. Take in deep breaths and blow out, in and out. So that's the message for you, Debbie.
Okay. Couple more.
Okay.
We'll go to Polly.
All right, Polly, let's see what we've got going on here. First thing they're showing me is kind of, what is this, a rope? Almost like you've got a rope around you and like your hands are tied. Like you want to do something and you can't. Something's keeping you from really doing what you want. Um, but Spirit is wanting me to tell you that that rope is okay for now, because it does almost feel like you're going to be able to do or say what it is that's on your mind. And again, it doesn't have to be your physical body. This almost kind of feels like you can't say what you want to either. Like you got to bite your tongue. And what arena this is, Spirit's not telling me that. But something tells me that it'll make sense to you. And that they're just saying it's okay that you bite your tongue right now, because it's not always going to be like this. You are going to be able to say what you think, or do what you think, and you're not going to feel like you're in bondage, or that you're being held back. So that's a good thing for you. And they say take time and have fun. Take time and cut loose and be fancy free, whatever that may be. If you want to go out and have a beer, or Irene, we're not, she's funny. Whatever you want to do to have fun, just have fun. It can't always be, you know, hard work and structure. Just do things out of the ordinary. Do things that you normally wouldn't do. And you might be surprised that you kind of like that being spontaneous and just doing something at the spur of the moment. And one thing too, we like creative stuff for you. I don't know if you've ever made pottery. That is something that flashed up that might be coming up in your near future where you just find yourself at a little pottery class. I did that once. I'm telling you, it was really fun. I
Yeah.
have the bowls. Yeah, I did that with one of the granddaughters. But yeah, I still have those bowls. And every time I look at it, it reminds me of when we went. So just kind of
Huh.
fun.
Yeah. Interesting.
Hmm.
All right. We have time for one more.
Okay.
Um, I know we've missed a few, but if you need a reading tonight after the show in the comments, put down your request for a reading. If you have specific questions that you want Sherry to answer, put that down in the comments too. Sherry will answer that. Make sure you put your first name down too if your username does not include your first name.
And can I say something too? Um, you know, it's hard for Bobby to read through all of these names because people will be commenting and a lot of our people talk back and forth. And so if you got skipped, it's nothing personal. It's that happens. And again, you'll get the same kind of message that I'm doing now, only it'll be in written form
Yeah.
after the show. So,
And if you're really interested in personal read on the air, join us for our special Saturday show, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time,
right,
starting this Saturday.
right.
All right, so we're ready for our final
Yeah,
reading.
yep.
Let's go with Maricela.
Okay. All right, let's see what we've got here. Instantly, my hands get hot in your energy. And when this does this, this tells me you're a healer. Um, a lot of times it actually means a hands-on healer because spirit will show me like a cross sometimes for people, and to me healers can be doctors and nurses and therapists, and but when my hands start to get hot, that's actually hands-on healing. So this might be something that you're either working on now, because if you are, it's really going to open up because they're literally now showing me the hand chakra just really opening. So that's something wonderful. Again, you know, work on yourself too. A lot of people that do spiritual work, any kind of healing, anything, a lot of us tend to go through a lot of things in our life because what better teacher is, you know, one that has walked through the fire. And so they're saying, do try healing your own physical body, any aches and pains and ailments you have, and even your mental body and your emotional body. So there's a lot of things they're saying that you can work on, and it might be a gradual thing, but that is something that we see coming up for you. And as I do that, I'm instantly seeing a lot of lights in my third eye, and I literally see like orbs that go across. Do you ever see that, Bobby?
No, only from a camera.
Yeah, mine. But yeah, I'm literally seeing that, and that is when the third eye is really kicking in. And we see that for you too, Marcel, where it is really your third eye, your intuition is really gonna up it up a notch, and you're gonna start to know things that you don't know, and it's gonna really be exciting. It's like a kid in a candy store. It's fascinating when you do get on that roll with spirit, how they can, the synchronicities are amazing. So you're going to start to see a lot of synchronicities and just a lot of things that it's it's so intertwined. It would be almost hard to explain to people. So they're saying try to write things down so you don't forget. So that's what comes up for you.
Okay. And unfortunately, that will do it for tonight. You feeling a little loopy?
I'm always loopy by after 15 minutes. Well, I'm tired too. You got to figure. I mean,
Yeah,
I get up early and I clean like for 6 to 8 hours a day, and I'm old. And then I come home and then I have to try to regroup, you know.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, I do readings after work. I'm used to it. But
yeah.
one thing too, I want to say so I don't forget is in the comments. I think it'd be fun because we have a lot of regulars too. And I think it'd be fun if people would put like their name and like where they live, like not your address, but like, Sherry, Indianapolis, Indiana. Because so many people, I can see every once in a while I see in their thing where they connect, and it'd be fun. You don't have to live next to somebody to be their friend, and so many people, we just have our own little tribe. I think it'd be fun. And you could say, hey, I live in Indianapolis too. Maybe we could meet for coffee or something. I just think that'd be fun. I mean,
Mm,
not like this is a dating website, but I mean,
yeah,
for people of like mind.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Okay. And with that, we're going to end it. Thanks for tuning in to today's show, everybody, and thanks to all of you who got your reading and shared it with all of us. We hope you liked it. As
yeah.
always, if you have a topic you'd like to discuss or a question for Sherry to answer, put that down in the comment section, and we'll try to answer that
Somebody just wrote, where are the comments?
after the show. Go to the video of this show, and the comments are right below it.
Yeah, you just click on it and then you can type in.
Yeah. If you'd like to book your own private reading with Sherry, go to psychicshari.com, click on the Schedule Now button. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel here, as well as click on the bell icon to be notified when new videos and live streams are posted. That will do it for
Okay.
tonight, and hopefully we'll see many of you on Saturday morning.
And hopefully I'll remember and I won't be here in my jammies and my hair will be sticking up everywhere and no makeup. But
Yeah. You might
all
want to
right.
come just to find out.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
All
everybody.
right.
Thanks
Take
for coming
care,
on.
everybody. We'll see you
Okay.